Hello, Senior Stoner fan. Just the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Puffco Peak Pro dab of the day. Today is Monday. Hello, everybody. Well, going to do something a bit different today. One of our family, one of our subscribers on the channel, has asked me by request to do a segment on a topic that they hear some information about. That topic is dealing with social anxiety. So what I did is I looked into it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up scenarios. There are going to be several scenarios so that social anxiety is present. And we're going to get ahead of that. We're going to make it so that before people get into these situations, hopefully they're going to get some help. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe. Hit that like button, and don't forget to send your comments and questions. I reply to all of them. Let's get started. Well, a lot of people have jobs, okay? So social anxiety can take place in an office or an environment setting of work. So when you're on your way to work, let's think about doing these things to help ourselves. Let's not be late. See, if you're rushing around, your heart will start to pound. It'll be like a drum. It's better to be slightly early and settle in to your surroundings. But if you're late, don't rush in. Try to take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to acclimate a little. What's a little? A few minutes if you're late anyway. Remember, it's better to prioritize your peace of mind in these situations. And also, let's think about choosing what you're going to wear in advance. Because as we know, there's nothing worse than trying to throw outfits together at the last minute. Doesn't matter who or what you are. Being well dressed will also boost your confidence. So maybe choose something comfortable that you feel good in. Well, it's also not the time to try a new hairstyle or new makeup looks. Try to stay the same and understand that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you. Okay? So, how about this? How about once you get to the office, once you get to your place of business, wherever you work, know your stuff. Be prepared. There's no need to prep like crazy for a meeting. However, make sure you're clued in on the basics. There's nothing worse than being called on in a business setting and you don't know what's going on. Make notes in advance of your meetings. It'll make you calmer. Few bullet points of key things you might want to say as responses to questions or comments, and then you can refer to them. You can even stall. That will help you not struggle through the meeting. Well, how about social settings? How about you're out with another person? Maybe a date. How about this? How about you take charge with where you're going? That's right. So the setting can put you on edge. Think about it. You can always laugh the request off and say something like, well, maybe we'll do that on another date, and then suggest somewhere you'd feel more comfortable going. You know, if someone wants to put you into a noisy, crowded place, maybe you want to go to a park and sit and talk. Maybe you want to go to where there are a lot of people so you can watch them doing something and it's not focused on you. Think about doing this also. Arrive first for that meeting. Try to get there a good 10 minutes early. That'll give you time to freshen up, have a little drink, liquid of something, calm you down a little bit. Not any more than 10 minutes, because then you're going to start to do all the thinking and craziness. And this could be the formula for you to have a better engagement with other people. How about texting friends and asking for encouragement? What do you think of that? That's right. Text a good friend of yours and say, tell me something wonderful about myself, please. Because there's nothing more positive than a text from a friend to boost your confidence. Even if you've requested it, you're still going to psychologically see that coming in and go, that's nice. Now, I would think that social anxiety creeps up and rises even more when you're in a party setting. a social gathering. Even today, with what COVID is, you can be outside with a group of people. You can still be inside with a group of people at socially distanced face coverings. So, think about a couple ways to keep your anxiety level down in advance of a party and while you're there. First of all, you want to distract yourself on the way because, as we know, any anxious person knows that the drive to the party, the journey to the party, is the worst part of the party. So we worry about what's going to be, what the possibilities, how horrible, oh my God, are we going to be nervous, we left alone, whatever it is. So try to use distraction techniques at this point to prevent your mind from going over everything that can go wrong, because that's what we do. Phone apps, games on the phone, what's it called? Cookie Cutter, not Cookie Cutter, Candy Crunch, whatever it's called. And remember a couple of secrets about parties. Try not to go to a party alone. Think about it. If you're traveling solo, maybe just get that friend to meet you at the door or on the street, because that way you don't have to enter the room on your own. We all know that besides the anticipation factor, that arriving is the most stressful part. Okay? It's a daunting task for anybody who has anxiety. So what you want to do is you also want to think about your own presentation. What do I mean by that? Power poses. Work the power poses. Think about Beyonce or somebody like that, standing tall, your head up. Believe it or not, I have goosebumps talking about it. You will feel better. It will give you a boost, believe it or not. Even place a hand on your hip if you want to go the extra mile. And in contrast, think about it. Slouching like this and looking down at the floor is going to make you more insecure. Okay? So all these things can enhance and modify all the stress and anxiety that you anticipate you're going to have in these situations. Maybe practicing small talk in advance will be the solution. I do it all the time. I did it all the time. I practice everything. Every presentation I ever did was rehearsed. I never had to look at the papers. I never had to look at the screen because I write everything myself. So if you feel tired and you worry about being lost for words, okay, do it in advance. Have a tick list, 1, 2, 3, 4 topics on the tip of your brain. Questions like, for other people, did you travel far to get here? Wow, what do you do? Oh, have you got any holidays booked this year? Interesting. You're going to try conversation openers because if you practice, you will reduce the anxiety when it happens. You got to remember something else. It's just because I lay it all out. I'm an open book. You're not trapped. You always can leave if you need to. Of course, you want to try and stay in a social situation to try to build your confidence. But you don't have to be the last one standing. Because while it can be frustrating, social anxiety is definitely something that can be managed with many approaches. We just have to find the right one for us. With just a few changes to a routine, you might be able to live a happier life with less anxiety and less stress in social situations. Social anxiety is a crippling thing because it prevents people from entering that category, social. But if you try all these different little tidbits and tips, maybe it'll be a little bit easier for you. Remember, we live a world that's a circular world. You come around on the top of that circle, you have two things when you go over like a Ferris wheel: hope and opportunity. If you can get your fingernails on the windowsill, as human beings, we are able to pull ourselves into the window. Social anxiety is just like that. All of us can do a better job. We just have to try a little bit at a time. A very little bit at a time. Put one foot in front of the next, breathe, take it easy, try not to stress about it, and never know what can happen. Let's take our Puffco Peak dab of the day. Today we're going to be using diamonds from Mendo Breath. Here we go. I want to thank you all for joining me today for today's video and discussion on social anxiety. I want to thank our subscriber for suggesting this topic. I think it's a helpful topic for many, many people. This has been The Real Senior Stoner. If you enjoyed the topic and the video, please subscribe. Hit that like button, and by all means, send me your questions and comments. I reply to every one of them. Cheers, everybody. Let's take that hit. Excellent, excellent, excellent. As always, thanks again. Have a great day, everybody.